How many of these articles, based on what Kirkpatrick said, have you read, and what's your take on it?
There's an information war. This is disinformation. This is a disinformation tour, and the public should know, and we're going to highlight it. He wrote an article in Scientific American. It was an opinion piece, right? There was literally nothing scientific about it, nor was it American. Because to be an American, you represent the people you're supposed to represent. Additionally, to go after David Grusch, and let me just read you what he wrote so I can really nail this home, that he's a liar. This is not just a disinformation war. He's a liar. So in his article, where Kirkpatrick said in the Scientific American, which was neither scientific nor American, here's a quote. And I'm gonna tell you where he puts quotes. As of the time of my departure, none, let me repeat, none of the conspiracy-minded, in quote, whistleblowers in the public eye had elected to come to AARO to provide their, quote, evidence and statement for the record, despite numerous invitations. So let's just take David Grusch. Is that true? It's not true. That's a lie. So there are FOIA-able back and forths between Kirkpatrick and David Grusch that will become public. I have seen them. Total horse shit. And Kirkpatrick is a piece of dog shit.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Alien Addict on a fine and drama-filled evening. Because finally, you were going to get a totally different conversation tonight. We were going to talk about actual people being abducted, which would have been fabulous. However, you got this, and I'll be honest with you, I like a little bit of drama. But anyway, before we get on with the show, and I bring my boys on, we are streaming right now on Rumble, I hope. It did say there was a problem earlier, but I think it's fine now. On X, you can check out the merch in the description below. There's going to be new merch coming out. Those are as times, and those are the platforms that we are on. And we're on a few more as well. So I couldn't fit them on. So there you go. Without further ado, my lad.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm my lad. I'm good. How are you doing, lads?
You're good, man. All good.
Yeah, happy that it's Friday finally, huh?
Oh God, yes. It's a well-deserved Friday. The week I've had.
What about the week Corbell's had?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, someone's pissed off, aren't they?
I mean, there's a few things that I'd like to touch on that Now Alone podcast. But yeah, I was like, there was something that Lou said the other day from Lou Reviews that I actually thought, well, he's got a good point there. And I'm not one of the Jeremy Corbell haters. I'm not. I find him quite entertaining. And I think I do like the documentaries that he's put out. But the point he made is if he's got these emails, then just show them. You know, if Grusch has got the emails. What's stopping them showing the emails? I suppose somebody could say, well, those have been fabricated, so they need them to come from the horse's mouth, so to speak. But I don't know what you guys think of that.
You go ahead, Nick.
I was going to say, yeah, good point, Ollie. I was actually going to mention that on my footnotes here. Yeah, it's all these delays and all these speculations of, I spoke to Sean Kirkpatrick, and then Sean was like, no, I haven't heard anything. So to get some clarity would be nice. But like I said, these emails should have been released ages ago. It would have stopped all the speculation and had much more clarity. But yeah, what do you think, Ice Cream?
Yeah, agreed. I've been shouting that same thing for months. Release the emails. I mean, I'm looking for something to actually hang my hat on in this topic. Like, we actually have a chance for truth, fact, no more speculation. Who really emailed who and who ignored and who didn't. Like, what are we waiting for with that? I mean, if Kirkpatrick wants to hide behind, FOIA, or say that, hey, I think Greenwald made a post where he showed that some of the emails are hard to get to because they're from Battelle. He's at Battelle now and they can't get after him or whatever. But, Grusch shouldn't have any issue at all showing what he sent over to Kirkpatrick. Dump him out. Let's see it.
Mm-hmm. Now they got the Witness Protection, the Whistleblower Act, where they can actually state now what they've seen without having any harm done to their pension or being ridiculed and stuff like that. So what's the hold up, man? This is what I don't get. This is
Hold up.
Hold up. You know what I mean? I don't get it, man. It's all this. Nothing's really making sense.
Sorry, boys. Tracy, yes. Thank you. You've got the AC arrived. It's comfy, great stuff. And Tracy's a channel member too. So I appreciate the channel love. This one. We made it. We actually made that especially for Tracy. So if you've got t-shirt ideas, people, send them my way, and I'll get them done, so to speak.
Nice.
Appreciate that. Awesome. Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to just extend the content. Like we're just waiting here to kind of get into the middle of the year. Maybe you can get to Elizondo's book or something else to talk about. Because I don't know what they're holding off for either. I mean, I'm assuming what Grusch is going to say, that there's some kind of other classified nature or something tacked along his emails. That's typically the excuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know the legal ins and outs of it, how easy it would be for him just to send those, to show those emails. I mean, one, how would we know that that's a real email? Do you know what I mean? How would we know?
Yeah.
We'll have the dates and everything on there.
Right.
Yeah, we would, but there's Photoshop.
Yeah, that's everyone wants to discredit like every single information that comes out. All this the email is going to be debunked. It's going to be faked and stuff like that. It's like, come on, guys, we can't be skeptics about everything, But
yeah, but even if he shows the real email, and if it has been sent out, and Kirkpatrick goes, I never got that. I don't know what that is. Somebody's going to say, Mick West will go, well, the pixels here slightly, slightly out from the bottom. So I think this is a fake email.
Well, I think you could probably look at Grusch's email and then look at the email that it's sent to. And I don't know how public Kirkpatrick's email would be. He would have to address whether or not the email that it got sent to on that copy is his real email or not. You'd have to prove that. If it ends up being an email that not really anybody has other than the people that are trying to get a hold of AARO, he's got a hell of a problem if Grusch has actually been trying to contact him and he's ignored it.
So Kirkpatrick said he hasn't had any response from Grusch, but Grusch has been saying he has been in contact.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So someone's lying, and I got a
Jeremy Corbell is saying that Kirkpatrick is a liar.
Yeah. I'm kind of flip-flopping now. I'm sort of blaming Grusch to a certain degree, but I think Kirkpatrick, I reckon he's telling a little lies in a certain way where
if he's lying, though, if Kirkpatrick's lying about Grusch, then that's a whole different game.
Oh yeah, change the game completely. Yeah, definitely.
That changes everything. My nipples will literally leave my chest. Never mind get fucking hard. I will be ecstatic.
Can I just point this out here? I've said this many times on this podcast before. Do you think Kirkpatrick has been showing less important information when it comes to UAPs, UFOs? He hasn't been seeing what's happening like Lockheed Martin or stuff with those like aerospace companies. Not saying that they have alien technology, but he's been restricted in what information he's getting. He's getting all these crappy footage that really leads ufology nowhere. What do you guys reckon?
Well, it's beyond me that anybody in the UFO community can believe that all of a sudden we've got a company that is looking into this that will disclose things if they come across it. You guys believe that? You, after all this time,
After they ripped up eminent domain,
conspiracies that you've been into all this time,
I know.
and all of a sudden somebody comes up and it's like, well, he's from a four-letter agency and he's done this and he's done that. Well, we got to trust that, and also we got to trust the military, with the footage that they're showing. If you think for once, I don't know what happened to my voice then. If you think for 1 second that they are going to show you the mothership, so to speak, then what's the words I'm looking for, boys? I can't even
Nipples?
Can't even produce it.
You donut.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, like, and I was screaming at Lou Reviews the other day because I do like listening to the guy rant.
Hey, I do too. I listen to him and I'll yell at him sometimes too, for sure.
And I was just going like, because he's done the complete opposite. I get why him and Cambion and Mick West and that, well, Mick West says it in a very civil way, are saying that the UFO community is stupid. I get that.
Sure.
Because we are.
We are.
Right. Sure. Right. But at the same time, if you trust these people, just because they come from, a big background that's proven background, so fucking what?
Yeah.
So what? How deep has this conspiracy gone? And all of a sudden you're going to trust people? Well, I'm sorry, you're fooling yourself. You really are.
Well, Ali, here's a good example, right? And I thought about this week, is I thought, let's go back to the Manhattan Project, okay? Let's say Congress, for whatever reason, wasn't filled into creating the nuclear bomb, right? And they said, you know what? We hear about this area out in the desert, someplace called Los Alamos, that they're working on this super weapon, this brand new weapon, right? We got to figure out what's going on because we don't have any oversight over this. So they take someone like Kirkpatrick, all right? They stick him in a car, send him out in the desert, send him over to Los Alamos. He gets there and they brief him and tell him exactly what's going on with the Manhattan Project. How can he come out to the public and say, yeah, they're building a nuclear bomb? He couldn't. There's no way. Even if he wanted to tell the truth, he couldn't do it, Ali. And this is kind of changing my mind a little bit. And I wonder, when I was thinking about the Battelle position that he took. What if he got in there and he got behind the DOE, which, Manny from Area 503 last week, I mentioned something in a space and he kind of corrected me on it. And he goes, well, if you look at the original way the AARO's wording is written, they should be able to go around DOE. Like all the clearances won't matter. They can get around them. And I thought to myself, well, if he really got in there and was able to talk to them and they told him to shut his mouth about it, what if they said after that, well, come work at Battelle and then you'll see why we're telling you to lie. We know you're uncomfortable. Kirkpatrick might be a good guy. He might feel bad about lying to the American people and lying to the world at that matter. But they said, come work for us for a little while, come to Oak Ridge and you'll understand. And then when this thing starts to roll it out, you can be a part of it and you can kind of clear your conscience of it. What do you think about that?
I think you're on something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it almost feels like Kirkpatrick is restricted in what he's allowed to say, but at the same time, I'm thinking, has he actually seen? If I hypothesize in your aspect, if he's seen really important stuff that will disclose UFOs, is he allowed to say it to the public, or has he not seen this information? So he's saying, well, there's nothing to go by, guys. These are just like misinformation of birds, weather balloons and stuff like that. So we're going back to the Project Blue Book again. So it's a tricky one, man. But yeah, something about Kirkpatrick's not a bit off for me. I want to believe, guys. Look at that. I want to believe, but
he does look. He looks like a guy that is perfect for the job. Just perfect. He's smart. He seems trustworthy. But then there's that's just because he's got a beard, But there's something off. There's something really off about it. And I could be talking absolutely out of my ass. We all could.
Yeah, it just kind of comes down to whether or not you think I don't think there's a question on whether or not the guy is. You can't trust the DoD. Come on, that can't be the default response to any of this. It never has been. They've lied, they've lied, they've lied. All of a sudden, on the most important, most secretive issue in history, they're just going to start telling us the truth. I mean, come on, that can't be the default answer, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on whether or not you think he's being malicious in lying, or he's just he's a national security guy. He's all about, hey, rah,
I
rah,
don't
America.
think it's malicious. I don't think. I don't think the
Could
guy.
Be not, yeah.
I don't think any of these. I don't think the ones we see. I don't think the people we see do it to be malicious. I think they do it for the country. Maybe the greater good of humanity. I don't know. If there is lies to be told, maybe it is maybe they think they're doing the right thing.
Well, he's putting stigma right back onto the topic, though. Again, Ali, I mean, there's no really way to argue that. I mean, after all the reports, his op-ed, I guess he's going to do another review of his time there with AARO. It's like, we know, dude, you said there's nothing there. We got it. And now he's making statements like it's basically a religion, a religious belief that transcends critical thinking and rational thought. I mean, my God, dude. I mean, we are going right back to pre-2017 stigma more and more. I mean, CNN is did an article on that. It just, I don't know. Is there any way to stop it from going back to full stigma?
No.
Do you think a lot of it's to do with the blowback he's been receiving from the harsh comments? And
that guy's never received a blowback in his life.
You know what I mean by blowback? The sort of the harsh criticisms he's been getting. You know what I mean? Because he did mention it in the interview. Maybe that's put him off, so he's become a bit, I wouldn't say spiteful, but he's very careful in the wordings he's come across in the article. He's very articulated with his wording. He's try not to be too harsh, but he uses those words to make the community look nonsensical and non-rational in that aspect. Like we're just conspiracy theorists, which we are.
Well, what do you think about words that he uses like roll them out? Like he said, like, if there were ET, I would have loved to have found it. I would have rolled it out to the people. It's like, if there was really technology like right there, why does he think the DoD would let him roll anything like that out? Like, what do you mean? Why would you be the guy that they would choose to disclose? Why would AARO be the method to do that? I've never believed that AARO would ever be a proper method to do that anyway, Ali,
It's like them coming out and saying this weapon here can destroy the universe, not the planet,
right?
The universe. He's not going to do that.
How is he going to do that? I just don't know what people expect, man. Like when I hate to kind of beat a dead horse with it, but when I read the op-ed, I was like, I knew this already. Like I already knew you were going to tell me this, man. Like I didn't care about AARO in the first place. We already have the answers, man. Release them. I didn't care. I remember Lou said that to me. He goes, "Oh, we know you guys wanted AARO," and I was like, I didn't ask for AARO. I don't want. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just like NASA when they said they're going to start looking into UAP.
Yeah,
I trust that as far as I can throw it.
Yeah.
Well, come on. I mean, you think they're all of a sudden they're going to go, we started looking in all over NASA and we found in a back linen closet one of these aliens. We're going to drag him out here and show you guys. We forgot he was back there. It's like, you think they don't know what they already have? Come on, man. They know.
So in that aspect, you can say AARO was really put there by some governmental official or some sort of official to really divert the subject into a different direction, or not for disclosure at all, but the illusion we're going to get this a disclosure, that's some sort of aspect. But you see what I'm saying, guys? You know, because
100%.
because Kirkpatrick must have been briefed before he taken this job at AARO. He must have been briefed beforehand to say, look, okay,
Oh, absolutely,
you
yeah.
know, you know, you have to like say a few white lies here and all that, you know. So yeah, man, it's
I don't care if you come across a blue fucking chicken. You don't you do not disclose that. All
Yeah.
you see every now and again is little silver orbs. That's what you mostly see.
That's ufology. That is ufology in a nutshell. Blurry orbs.
Yeah, if there's a group out there that's really conspiring against a lot of things, it's probably the same group that ripped up the UAP Act, man, that talked to Kirkpatrick too. I mean, I'm sure those guys had a little talk with him.
Mm.
That UAP Act, that with them tearing that up, that was the craziest thing to me last year. That was the most obvious. Hey, there's obviously something here. Why would you not just let that thing go through? You know.
But we were saying on podcast for months beforehand that it wasn't going to pass.
I know.
So...
because we're trying to be realists about this stuff, right? Like we want to have a good conversation, but we're not looking to bullshit the thing either. I mean, the odds of the government telling you the truth are fucking zero, man. I mean, it's not going to happen, right?
No, it's true. I mean, who didn't see it coming? You know?
No.
I know a lot of people do think the guy's a little bit sneaky or snaky or salesman-y. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I kind of like the guy. Do you think Jeremy's in it for the truth, or do you think he's in it for for Jeremy?
I think he wants to bring out the truth, but in reality, what he's bringing forward, guys, they ain't going to give us disclosure no matter what he's going to bring forward. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Okay, this is why people say, "Oh, he's a grifter." People,
who would you trust though? Who would you trust more?
None of them.
No, Jeremy. You have to pick one. Jeremy Kirkpatrick. Jeremy. I know they're completely different things, but Jeremy Kirkpatrick. Weaponized or AARO?
I would say honestly, Kirkpatrick, because he's very intelligent. He has a scientific background.
That guy.
Joe, am I supposed to trust Jeremy Corbell after the shit he's been saying, starting bloody wars, and just being totally outrageous, so out of character, like Lou says? So, I mean, you wouldn't get that out of Kirkpatrick. You know, at least you get some sort of sense, but. It's like I would lady
trust...
debunkers. So I was like, oh, hold on a minute, you know, just like, why are you having to go at us for? You know, do you understand what I'm saying? It's gone off the rails now. It's this narcissistic attitude that comes with ufology, is that I know best, you know, it's my way or the highway, and it comes with the territory, and it kind of gets in people's nerves a little bit because they think that they're right. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. The way I look at it, from a point of view that this guy, you know, I don't think he expected what would have happened after the Bob Lazar documentary. And for some reason, he's that guy. And I always put myself in other people's shoes. Well, I try to. I think, what would I do if I was Corbell? If I'm given tidbits to put out there, do I put it out there slowly? You know, do I just go balls deep with it? I think he's playing a very clever game with it. But at the same time, he started this with a business. He didn't start this with. And I think he said that once, that, you know, he's curious, but, you know, he's a documentary filmmaker. Now he calls himself a journalist. But I think he slowly slid into that role. And whether you think he's arrogant or not, he is who he is.
Do you think he was pressured into it, Ali? Do you think maybe pressure?
I don't. I think it naturally. I think he's been given a lot of this bullshit that we've been getting, you know, with the the bokeh and things like that. I think he's been given this. He gets excited about it and he puts it straight out. He's not a video analyst when it comes to looking at footage like that. He puts it out as it is. I think some of the stuff that he's put out, I mean, I actually think the floating bin bag is quite intriguing. You know, the jellyfish UFO.
I do too. Yeah, 100%.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. Yeah,
I'm
not saying it's alien, but like I don't know.
I think
either.
people are too quickly to jump on him just because I think people clash with his personality. Some people clash with that guy's personality. I think that could be the problem. I don't know.
What do you? Oh, go ahead.
I also think some people. I mean, fucking hell, George Knapp for a since when? If you'd have gone back, what, before Corbell, and you just said the word George Knapp, everybody had all the respect in the world for George Knapp. Why all of a sudden, just because he's with Jeremy Corbell, does everybody want to hate on George Knapp? I'll be honest with you, I don't get it, because I think people put too much emotion into this when really we should be saying, who gives it? You don't have to like the people that are giving you the information.
Yeah.
You do need to know that the people giving you the information are making money off the information. No shit, Sherlock. That's what they fucking do.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think they've ever lied about that either. I mean, I know Corbell did a whole thing about like, I'm in real estate and all thing. Like, yes, that's probably another thing on the side, but I'm pretty sure he's made some good dosh from Weaponized and mainly the Bob Lazar documentary, because I know what YouTube money makes. Not a lot.
I think why Knapp is getting a lot of harsh criticism at the moment is because he's hanging around with Corbell and those gangs, you know, so they got a more or less like a harsh reputation at the moment, you know, as being grifters. Also, Knapp has been putting a lot of stories about Skinwalker Ranch as like smoking lizards and stuff like that, or goblins and stuff. So that doesn't really help his reputation either.
Smoking lizards and goblins.
Yeah, have you not heard about that? Yeah. Don't quote me if that's actually right, but yeah, I did hear something wacky stories that he's been coming out with. I think because as people are more skeptical these days when it comes to Bob Lazar, and they always treat Bob Lazar with George Knapp because he's the one that really broke the story, and them two together, Corbell and Knapp, are just a great chemistry for just to be get shit on really at the moment.
Yeah, I mean the Bob Lazar thing. Well, while we're on Bob Lazar, did anybody get the hint that Bob Lazar is the guest for the closing episode of Weaponized?
No, I didn't get that.
Yeah, but Bob Lazar guaranteed is. I think he could be on this Tuesday.
You're talking about the last 20 minutes where it's like him going over propulsion and everything like that?
So he speaks about Bob Lazar and he says he don't think he's going to be the last we see of Bob. I think he's going to be a guest on Weaponized. So for all you Bob Lazar fans, Bob Lazar will be on Weaponized. I would say unless, because they keep saying it's the last episode and then it's not the last episode and this is not the last episode. So I don't know if they're kind of like, Bob, come in. We need to get this done. Then it'll be the last episode. No, George, we need to spin it out. What should we do? Oh, just go after Kirkpatrick. It's fine. We'll spin this out a little bit longer. Bob will come in next week. He's promised that he'll come in next week.
A cliffhanger. They're going to leave it on a cliffhanger like they did in Star Wars The Force Awakens. They left it on the cliffhanger with Luke Skywalker. They're going to do exactly the same here. Wait, just you wait. Have you seen those orbs floating around? Someone said that in the comments last time.
What, around your bedroom?
No, around here. There's like orbs floating around. Yeah, it's crazy.
I've noticed that. Yeah, you need to clean your room.
No, it's definitely multitude aliens going on there, mate.
It is funny that they changed direction, I have to say, but when you're waving your hands around and stuff, The thing is, I'll be honest with you, Nick. I have noticed stuff flying around in your room.
There you
There's
go,
one
see?
right there. There's one. Yeah.
Aliens, mate. That's aliens.
But I've never been one of these orb guys. Though I've seen some of. I think there's something in it. I do think there's something
Yeah.
in it, but I
I'm
think
50-50.
I think some of them could just be dust.
But as I'm here, we could just say that one was definitely an alien that just came past.
Oh,
Definitely.
100%, mate.
Okay, good, because I'd be
attracted to
very
the-
angry if it wasn't.
Even that is a fly, and it's just attracted to that light on the mic. I have got
Attracted to me.
indigestion.
How about think about this though, right? So let me ask you guys this. What do you think? Well, it's kind of rhetorical, then I'll let you answer, but what's the real difference between the last time Blue Book was in the picture to now? Blue Book was able to kind of handle all of media. Now you have AARO, and AARO handles kind of all of media, right? For the government, a lot of that. But they don't have social media covered. So if I was someone in the DoD and I was thinking, how could I create a program like AARO, have this program running and kind of take back the narrative? What do I do about social media? Maybe somebody tapped on Corbell's shoulder. I'm starting to think maybe this is like a multi-angled approach that the government's had to take this time to really cover this thing up. It's like you have AARO dealing with the government, dealing with Congress, scientists, all those people kind of telling them, hey, there's nothing here. Corbell's taking care of all the crazy people on Twitter and everybody else, and he's giving them disinformation. And then you look at in the past, like OSAP and these other programs, and they're kind of dealing with the private corporations, that structure. And they're kind of getting disinformation in those areas. Could there really be like a 3-pronged approach that they've been implementing for years now since 2017's come out with all these articles?
So it's like a long plan ahead, and now they're really introducing it. And that's an interesting actually one. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really hype until 2017, isn't it? Until that New York article came out, I thought it was a big fucking no burger. Honestly, I don't know why people got boners over it. Honestly, but
I think they did because it was an attempt to make people's next door neighbors ask the crazy neighbor, what is all this about these UFOs that you've got? I've been seeing it in so and so. I've been asked these questions. In fact, today, a really good friend of mine, old friend, and into conspiracy. I think he's been on the channel, Dean. But he's more religious and stuff like that. But he's like saying, this is hyping up. This is really hyping up now. Like, we were having a conversation about it, and I said, well, I don't know what to believe. And this goes out to the audience as well. I don't think this is just about making money. This isn't just a grift. There's something to this. Do people make money off the back of it? Yes, they do. People make money off the back of war. People make money off the back of. Look what happened in COVID. Look how many people profited off that. People will find a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean to say it's not real.
And Ali, I should correct myself too, because I mean, you got to remember, before 2017, Tom DeLonge was on a tear on media, and he was going all over the place. I mean, the Department of Defense, the MIC, they've had a head start even to 2017. I think it was 2015. Tom said he was shopping that book around and shopping his whole TTSA program around. Mm-hmm. They've had a lot of time even before the New York Times to start thinking about what's coming ahead.
I mean, I was massively into TTSA. I was excited.
Yeah.
One, because growing up, I can remember. I mean, I wasn't a massive Blink-182 fan. I kind of liked them, but a few of my best mates were really into Blink, and I seen MTV for the first time around one of my mates' house that had it, and I saw Tom DeLonge on it talking about. And I think I found the clip. I think it was either on YouTube or on something else, and it's an old clip of him showing all his books that he used to take on tour with him, and they're all like UFO books, Kennedy books and all that. That guy's been into that for a long time.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing with that, I've said this before on the show. Stephen Greer said on Security in 10 when Tyler was interviewing him that Tom DeLonge has been to his house. He's like got information off Stephen when he was learning all this, and Stephen said he's been used. Now,
Useful idiot.
whatever you want to call Stephen Greer, at one point, I mean, I you know, everybody knows I've got a soft spot for Stephen. But I think he's probably right there. I think Tom DeLonge was choosed. I think he was. Just because it's his company, that makes no difference. That company should have never got the legs that it got. That got some legs.
Well, that's why I'd ask you, used for good or used for bad? I mean, it's very possible that Tom could have maybe been a catalyst for TTSA to actually provide something. Maybe that could have started the drip process. It's possible, man.
I don't think TTSA is what it was supposed to be.
Right now, yeah, it's very possible that it's not. Yeah, I mean, it could have been well intentioned. He could have talked to McCasland. He could have, yeah. I mean, these are all things that they could have enjoyed his process and said, yeah, we can start rolling this out. And then for whatever reason, they decided to turn away from it. And then you had some bad characters come into TTSA and decide, well, this didn't really work out, but what else can we use this for? Then it can change. Then it can morph. Then you can get Steve Justice in. Then you can get Elizondo and Jim Semivan and Chris Mellon. And you can get all these guys in with Chris power Mellon. To do something else. Correct. Which he's, the money for sure. He's got the money. You know what I mean? It could have started off healthy and then it got a virus.
Sure.
I think there was a plan for it, for TTSA. That plan didn't work out. I don't even think Tom realizes that plan didn't work out. I don't think Tom knows what the plan was for his own company. Because
really,
yeah. Do you remember him saying that he met up with the officer? Was it an officer? He met up with an officer that told him about ETs.
Yeah, he met him in the airport, and I think that was actually supposed to be Lou, right? Who said it was the Cold War and we found a life form.
I don't think it was Lou.
Was it? I feel like I remember it being Lou. Maybe it's not though.
I don't think it was. I think Lou came in after that. I don't think that was Lou. But I think that company was molded. Just because it's his company, I think somebody else tried to mold that to what they wanted it to be. They realized quite quickly, no, we need to get out. This is not going to work. Where we are right now with him going on Joe Rogan, like high as fuck. Like, no, this is not going to work out. We thought we thought that guy, was the guy that we could have. But no.
Yeah, so you could say Lou had a real big part of dismantling TTSA to a certain degree, or molding it to the way he should think.
I think Lou was probably ordered to come away from that. I don't think it's any coincidence that Lou and Chris Mellon left at the same time.
Yeah.
Were they the last to leave though?
Justice left, I think, same time too, though.
Yeah, yes. I think he did. I think you're right. Isn't Hal still there? Like in Tom DeLonge's office,
basement.
Sort of basement, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is with Elizondo though, man, is he drew the short straw though. I mean, when that thing broke up, he was the only one that was left without a real future with it at that point. I still think, man, he got drug out of the Pentagon on a lie, maybe from Semivan, maybe from Mellon, but this whole idea of him, never hearing about TTSA or anything before, I think that's obviously been proven that that's bullshit, that he knew about it and he went over there and left his retirement plan and was probably promised a lot of money, man. He got screwed a little bit on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Definitely makes sense. I mean, he is a counterintelligence officer, so that's what he does. So he's there to sort of, and now we know from Truth Seekers, Stephen Campion's show, when he had, was it Rocky? I think I'm probably butchering
Yeah,
his
no,
name
Rocky's
now.
the name. Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky was the name. Yeah, and how Lou sort of infiltrates these people to sort of bring them up as important influencers into the UFO community. And Lou's quite well known for doing that to a number of people. Now listen to very carefully to, sort of Lou reviews and people like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a massive part into changing TTSA.
So these are the people.
Yeah, I thought Hal
TTSA.
left. Yeah.
Hal's no, he is
Still
in the
there?
basement. He's down there.
Is he? Who is Norm Khan, bro? I've never heard that guy.
He looks
in
like
my
an
life.
alien, man. I'm sorry, bro, but you look like an alien, bro.
Oh,
It's
what's
into
his
my
name?
soul.
Oh God, what's the name of the alien that's supposed to look like a human? All the fingers in the old photo. Why am I blanking on Valiant Thor? That's
The
Valiant
Valiant
Thor right there. That's Norm Khan.
Norm Khan, former CIA counter biological weapon program.
I think he just looks weird because they've tried to like make all these pictures seem very similar, to make him look like artsy, all fit together, and they've like warped them and stuff and changed the colors on him. So it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's
Semivan's still up there. He's still kicking, huh?
Yeah.
We want to know what's going on. Semivan's so funny, man. He's the guy that had the beings come in his room. He won't ever tell that story though, I guess. Yeah, there he is. He won't ever tell that story.
Yeah. TTSA.
So is this the company who's supposed to promise us a spaceship? Was it?
That was the company that was promising us a spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah.
At one
Took
point.
my money. Yeah. I didn't give him any money because I knew it was bullshit in the first place.
You know what though, Ali? You made a good point earlier, dude, when we were talking about how it kind of changed though, because the very beginning it was just to the stars. And Tom's original goal was to just bring out, this soft disclosure with the films and kind of acclimatize the public with the books. And he was going to release like the fiction book and then the nonfiction book and then fiction book, nonfiction book. It became Academy later on. And when you had To the Stars Academy happen, that's when you started to have the plane and the spaceship and shit. It all came later. That was not at the very, very original birth of that idea of To the Stars, if you remember.
Yeah. I do remember.
Yeah.
I got really good friends with a guy. I've told this story quite a few times. An investor of TTSA, and as soon as I started to go against the grain on TTSA, he fell out with me. But there you go.
Yeah,
comes with the territory, mate.
It does. Yeah. I mean, how did we get onto TTSA, by the way?
I don't know. I just went with it though.
It's alien analysis. That's what we're doing, isn't it?
I think it's on topic. It's not as if we've come away from the topic.
What was the topic of today's episode? I forgot.
It was Corbell. Well, the title's called Jeremy Corbell says Kirkpatrick is a liar in capital letters.
Were we supposed to talk about abductions and all that sort of stuff?
That was originally what it was going to be, but that's because there was nothing juicy to talk about. So
all right,
true.
Gotcha.
I literally this week at the beginning of the week set a load of podcasts to play, listening to abduction stories.
Oh, of course.
So just to get ready for this, but no, we are going to do an abduction show. I think do you guys know Ray Hernandez?
Rings a bell. Don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
Had him on before twice now. He's here next to that. So that the big guy is our Dave.
Yeah.
This is before I was allowed to show Dave.
Oh, no kidding.
Dave never used to show his face on the show. Dave got me introduced to Ray Hernandez, who is on the right next to the lady with the big alien on the chest. But yeah, Ray Hernandez, cool guy. Friends with he got really friendly with Edgar Mitchell.
Oh, no kidding.
Hung out with him for quite some time. I think they started a company together. Yes, they did. And what Ray was doing was investigating all cases of abduction stories and people that have had sightings, mainly people have had experiences and like trying to sift through the shit
Yeah.
to see which ones on a mathematical scale were the ones that was all kind of like adding up to the same thing, and then concentrating on them ones. And it's been like, I think it's well over, it might be 2 years since we had him on. We'll definitely get him on again. Great guest.
Sweet. Edgar Mitchell he's a bit of a funny character, wasn't he? Say he was going to like call the CIA. Is in that documentary, wasn't it? They didn't go to the moon documentary. They could have the guest on instead.
Yeah, Edgar Mitchell was the
astronaut, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
the sixth guy to go to the moon.
Yeah, allegedly to the moon. Yeah, and in that documentary, where he punched a guy, I can remember he was being chased out of his house, and Edgar Mitchell was saying,
Seabrill that got punched by Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah.
Am I confusing it? I'm confusing somehow. Edgar Mitchell said he was going
Funny
to
you should say that. Funny you should say that.
I knew you were going to do this.
I know.
Yes.
I got it.
You set him up perfect.
I know. That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
So Bart, and I hope I'm not murdering his name. Is Sibrel? Is it Sibrel?
Sibrel, yeah, sure.
Sibrel is coming on the show. The guy who got punched by Buzz Aldrin will be on the show. I think it's April. Yeah.
Let's be honest, Ollie. After that punch, he probably can't say his name right either. You know.
Yeah. He's been sending some really cool emails back and forth. Seems like a really cool guy. So I can't wait to get him on. Yeah. That is a great documentary as well. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
Is that the one where they put the filter in the window that looked like the Earth?
There's a few things
there's
a few things you cannot argue with on that documentary.
Yeah, I know. Because you mentioned
I showed a bit of it to my dad, and he's like, you could tell he was because my dad is a big moon guy. He's like, oh, shut up. But like, I'm going, no, Dad, just look at this. Just look at that bit there. How do you explain that? And he's like, I need to make dinner.
Yeah, that is the typical reaction. Even if you shove the footage in their face, like, look at that. They're like, yeah, I'm just going to do something else because they don't want to know the truth, man. But that is like 100% evidence. It's just clearly fakery was going on. Clearly.
Yeah, if you want to hear a really fun back and forth with that, James Collier and Richard Hoagland argue on an old episode of Art Bell, and they go back and forth on whether or not we went to the moon. Hoagland says we did, gives his reasons. Collier gives his, and dude, it is an epic conversation. You know, they talk about whether or not the film would melt in the high noon sun and stuff, and Kodak. It was a special film. Oh, dude, it's great. The details.
This is what's missing. Wow. This is what's been missing off YouTube because people have gone, oh,
I know.
I don't think I can speak about all that on the YouTube channel because my channel might get deleted. But it's like, but I think good news, guys. I think with what's coming out on YouTube, I mean, we've just had bloody Tucker with Putin.
Oh man, that was
wow.
Have you listened to that?
Oh yeah. I stayed up late last night watching it. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, whoever the guy was translating it did a phenomenal job.
Editing was great too. Very, very quick, very lean. Incredible work, especially the turnaround. I don't think there was much turnaround on that.
There'll be so many people that won't want to watch that though, because they won't want to hear because of that. I'm not going to get into it, but anyway, I'm sure Lee and Dave will get into it.
Dude, Tucker had some balls, man.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
Dude, sure they'll get into it.
There was a couple of times where he challenged, I won't give anything away, but a couple of times where he challenged them where I went, oh God, over in his area saying that. I don't know if I would have done that, man. Oh my God, bro. I give him credit, dude. Holy.
I kept thinking, what would happen if we sent Piers Morgan over? Like,
oh my God. Oh my God.
I kept thinking he wouldn't come back.
Ollie, we wouldn't be here, mate. We wouldn't be here. We'll be long gone.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. He depicts himself as quite a gentleman, but I'm sure you're gonna do. I don't know. I stay out of all this sort of stuff, these politics, bollocks, and wars, and all that jazz. But I do think I do respect the fact that Tucker's gone out to actually hear from the other side that we don't hear about, because that is so important. You can't just hear from one side, and that's kind of what happens, isn't it, with mainstream media, that they pick a side and they stick to it.
Yeah.
Typically,
Regardless if you hate him or like Tucker, he got balls to do what he did, and fair play to him. Fair play.
And whether same with President Putin, you have to hear that side of it, because we don't hear that side of it. We only hear one side of it, because that's all the news reports on.
Yeah, because all
so to bring that back into ufology, but this is a very good point. So we're thinking, like, if you actually believe in this, if you're watching this channel and you believe that we've been visited by extraterrestrials, they have this technology. Now can you see why somebody like Kirkpatrick could lie?
100%.
Because if that is real, that's the biggest deal that we currently have going on right now on this planet.
Yeah.
You forget everything else. If there is that sort of technology and that is real, there's going to be people making up shit. There's going to be people that will start new platforms, that will start new cults, everything, to send people in all sorts of different directions, just like the mainstream media does with everything else that's going on in the world. Apart from this is the thing that's got the most stigma.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Do you think a new religion is going to come from this? Or did I hear that there was a news article? I hear like a new alien religion, but man, how of them? Like Heaven's Gate, that was like an alien type cult.
Yeah,
wasn't it? That was if I remember, there were
for sure.
After Hell Bot.
Never really looked into it, but yeah, I remember that.
So religion comes in all different forms, mate. I guarantee you're going to get some sort of quasi-alien bloody cult started up at some point. People got wacky ideas these days. I mean, it's 2024. Have you not seen what people are like? So I wouldn't be surprised if something crazy would happen. But
Nick,
I think
you made a mistake. Though it's 2025 now, mate.
What?
It's 2025 now.
No, it's 2024. It's 2024. Isn't it?
Ollie's in future.
Ollie, are you drunk, Ollie?
Always.
Yeah, no, you're right, Nick. I think Heaven's Gate. I think that they thought the ship was coming for him, and that's why they had to die like that because the mothership was coming. I believe, if I'm right.
If I actually remember rightly, Haydn Musan actually came up with the idea that the spaceship was trailing behind Hale Bot comet. No, it was Hale.
It's that Hale Bob.
Hale Bob. Sorry, that was the Russian. That was the Russian satellite. I don't know, but people died, so who cares? So there we go.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. To be honest, I find it more likely that people just like quit looking into the topic more than they would start a religion over it. I mean, Scientology has its own roots in aliens and everything else, and I don't know. I just don't see it, dude. I see everything kind of trending in the other direction. People just getting bored of it and moving on. I mean, I've heard a lot of people this year talk about quitting and stuff like that already, and I'm like, Jesus, man. Like, I understand. I don't blame people for wanting to do that. I mean, it looks grim. It does. But yeah.
Moody, I've lost 4 years. I think we all have.
Was this third eye blind, losing the whole year over here?
So, how do we fix it?
How do we fix it?
Yeah,
you want the truth?
How do we choose who to believe?
It's gone that, and it's far beyond that point now of believing anybody. It's so fucking it dumps the fire what ufology is, man. Don't look. My mum always says to me, because we used to watch a lot of X-Files, trust no one. especially
I'm watching it
ufology.
again now on Disney.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, I was bashing Disney, but I actually
HD
ended
the
up.
fuck
Wait,
out
they
of
put
it.
it on Disney now? It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've proper HD.
Oh,
You can
shit, dude.
you can see the makeup and everything. But
Oh.
Yeah.
it's good. It's still great as well. It's
yeah.
still awesome.
I went through it all like 5 years ago. I went through it all again, but it's been like 5 years.
I'm watching it because I apparently like I've seen a few conspiracies of people going, "Have you watched the X-Files and seen what's happening this day and age right now? Do you remember that in the X-Files? Also, did you watch The Simpsons?"
I mean, I don't know. I don't see anybody who can walk around like a pyro guy that can set people on fire. Oh, I
No.
love that
Yeah, oh,
episode, man.
yeah.
Oh boy, that was a good one.
Do you remember
the episode-
Coons, the stretchy guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When he gets
They-
up into the vent and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
The infamous one I remember from X-Files is the beginning was these two aliens next to a car. Could you remember it was like the Alien episode or yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, there was a lot of alien stuff in there, but apparently these aliens were actually a government, so they were actually men in suits dressed up in alien suits. That was a very infamous episode of
I
X-Files.
can't remember that. To be saying that though, there's loads of episodes I'm watching at the minute.
There
I'm like,
are.
I can't
Yeah,
remember that.
tons. That's like season 7, mate. This is like season 7 later
okay,
on. So
okay.
yeah.
I remember
you
it went bad when Mulder went missing just because he was pregnant or something in real life.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
season 7, 8-ish. That's where it got a little bit. Yeah, but the first like 5 seasons, wow, banging, absolute banging.
Yeah, they're incredible. The first time I remember them really showing a lot of aliens was there was a scene where he was running through like this old barn or something. There was a bunch of them chasing him. I'm trying to remember. I think that was the first.
There was
time
one
I
on the
remember this.
train. Do you
Yeah.
remember the one on the train?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a classic episode. That I think
Yeah.
the one on the train.
Did you remember Home, the episode Home, with all those freaks?
I don't remember
in
the
house?
names of the episodes.
Yeah,
mate, no.
yeah. I don't remember the
Yeah,
names. Yeah.
it was a banned episode.
Mate,
It's
you
called
do
Home.
want to believe that? Have you got,
Yeah.
have you got some pencils stuck to your ceiling and some pumpkin seeds on the desk?
Well, for a start, I got the poster, so that's a start. Yeah, I just need a hot ginger woman next to me. Oh shit, it's just that too loud because my missus might hear that. So,
Scully.
Well, I
yeah.
guess one other piece of newer news. I mean, you've seen that the UAP archives is starting to kind of get fired up, right?
Mhm.
So that's
Is this
coming
going to be
around.
the thing where they're talking about? Is this the Roswell thing?
It could be. It could be.
The where they swore blind that we were going to get more Roswell stuff this
Well,
year?
weather balloons, tinfoil, tin cans. Yeah.
I mean, that has the potential for that, but I sometimes I think Roswell's probably registered and waiting for the 25-year extension thing. You know, they're not going to let any of that out yet.
Yeah, the JFK thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, Ali. You were saying, like, what do we do? I mean, look, I give you the real answer, the non-fun answer. The real is you can't do anything. You can't do anything. You're waiting. That's why it's so tough to be in the middle right now, because like if you're in the middle on this topic, you can't trust Kirkpatrick for obvious reasons that we already spoke about. You can't trust Corbell because of all the stuff that's gone on with him, the money, him holding evidence for 2-3 years, not doing real research on it, putting it out there. You don't really have anything. So if DOD and everything is out and he's out, you're just waiting for a whistleblower, dude. If you're in the middle, I don't know. There isn't. It's a waiting game. That's the truth.
Mm.
It is back to pre-2017. It is unfortunate, brother, but that's
James in chat said a very good quote, which is from Richard D. Hall, by the way, which I know personally. It says, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. And I think that's a very much true quote
Yeah.
in today's age. Yeah, that's it. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. So yeah, it's very, very true for today's age, especially in ufology. Yeah.
I mean, what else could we do, Ali? Tell me I'm wrong. Be devil's advocate. Tell me. Shoot me down.
You could watch more Alien Addict, you know.
That's true. That's true.
Some Terrestrial Material, some Cosmic Twilight. There you go.
You definitely could, yeah. But I mean,
In the
forgetting disclosure.
description.
Yeah, forgetting disclosure though. I mean, what do you think we could do?
All
With
right,
this point
all
moving
right.
forward?
Forgetting
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
forgetting
yeah.
disclosure. Okay. You could watch
Yeah.
more Alien Addict.
And buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, buy T-shirts, buy merch. That will help with disclosure,
Yeah.
definitely.
There you go. Watch more Alien Addicts. Those are the dates. Those are the T-shirts. That's where you can find us.
I heard that if they sell a certain amount of Fairy Lee shirts, Grusch is going to release the emails. So
One can hope. One can hope.
I think the Fairy
Oh,
Lee
man.
T-shirt is one of my favorites, actually.
I mean, if we really wanted to like get moving, like I know we touched on this already, but yeah, release the emails, dude. That would at least start kind of getting the ball rolling, because you could poll more people that are like ultra skeptic. They would like, you can't deny it at that point that shit's screwed up. Like you would have to kind of come to the other side and agree with the cover up at that point. Everyone would have to. How could you continue to defend that at that point? There's no way, you know?
You just can't.
Yeah.
Do you think Corbell might have picked the phone up to Grusch and said, "Listen, can we release these emails?"
Maybe. I'd probably ask him, "Hey, did you really send them?" before he asked them to
But
release
then at the
them.
same time, it's like, do you think Corbell had the same conversation with Bob? Can you come on Joe Rogan and face what's his name? Oh, what's his name?
Eric Weinstein. Yeah.
Eric Weinstein.
Right.
Joe's just rung me. He says, "Well, you can." No, I've got a migraine. Okay. No, Jay's got a migraine.
I don't know, man. Jeremy's taking a lot of L's, dude. He really is.
I don't
No one
see
wants
how.
to
Do you
talk
think
to
there's going to be a weaponized season 2?
Yeah, of course. He's got plenty of footage, Ollie. Come on. That's not the last footage he's got. He's got plenty up his sleeve. With Jeremy, like you said earlier, you know, is he looking at to actually push disclosure? But for me, it's just like dollar signs. It's just whatever makes profit. Because let's face it, he's making money off YouTube. And it's not going to be peanuts.
He's not making a lot, and he's not making a lot on YouTube. I'll tell you now, he's not making a lot of money on YouTube. We might have made quite a bit of money on the Bob Lazar documentary.
$40,000 on YouTube. I can bloody quit my job for that. You see what I mean? And
me too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that is
So
enough.
like, share, and subscribe, people. We can quit this job.
Yeah, buy merch right here.
Then we'll give you disclosure.
Yeah.
So, you see what I mean, Ollie? You know what I mean?
His YouTube channel's not making big bucks.
Wait for season 2.
No, but the thing is, if he really wanted to milk it, like having the audience that he has, he could do a few live shows a week. Get a few super chats.
He's scripted,
things
mate.
like
He is to a script. He's very planned on what he does. He's not going to go live. He's not going to have a debate with anybody.
Yeah, but I think that bit with him, he probably doesn't want to do that because he wants to be creative and he wants to edit it all together, because there's that part of him that just it cannot look scruffy. It's got to look on point, because he's an editor. He's good at editing.
Yeah.
Like he said he was an editor. He can fucking edit very well.
Yeah, he's a good filmmaker, dude. You can't argue that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But is he good at debating? Is he good at asking hard questions?
I don't know. He's
not getting that from Joe Rogan.
So the debating part, I remember watching a debate with him and Stanton.
And
I was like, ooh, I felt bad for Stanton. If I'll be honest with you, I mean, let's face it. So anybody that wants to attack Jeremy over like what he was like with Stanton, Jeremy was protecting his product. That's Bob Lazar. Okay. So he took the emotion out of that and he fought for Bob Lazar, his movie. Now, do I agree with him as what me watching that? I don't agree with it, because I wouldn't be able to do that the way he did it. He's obviously got that thing inside where he can, that personality where you can debate somebody like that in a way that you will shut them down very quickly. And that's what he did. Have you seen that, Nick? Have you watched that interview with that? Well, it was in front of a live audience where Bob Lazar wasn't there, but Jeremy was there with
Hmm.
Stanton Freeman.
Yeah.
And what Jeremy did was he got the audience fired up to back him and try, which essentially, I
What he's
think, it
doing now.
embarrassed Stanton. Would you
Yeah, sure.
would we right by saying that, Nick? Ice cream?
Kind of like the previous president did a little bit, huh? Same kind of style, huh?
Yes, exactly the same style.
There you go.
Now I just think that's his style, and that's what some people are like. They do that type of thing. And I'll be honest with you, it's a talent that some people get hired for.
It's a tactic, mate. It's
Yeah.
not a talent. That's a tactic. I mean,
It's
there's no.
no, but it's also a talent, mate, because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's for sure.
I
Talent, yeah.
couldn't. If you put me out there and say I'm going to give you a fucking million, you shut that guy down like that. I would struggle to do it how he did it. Now that's a compliment, and that's also not a compliment.
It's
Compliment at the same
charisma,
time.
Ali. He's got more charisma. Yeah, it's that's what it breaks down to. Yeah.
He got that thing.
Yeah.
So what was Stanton Freeman saying in terms of what was he
He's
saying? Something wrong?
basically saying that
He's the bottom third of his class, and
yeah. And but he did make a good point. He said,
He does, yeah.
How come Bob Lazar did one? Bob Lazar was Bob Lazar was at that conference, and he did one apparently when he saw Stanton. So he's like, well, how come I'm not seeing now? I'm seeing you, and it's like it. But then I think Jeremy realized that he was kind of losing that, so he got the audience involved, got the audience fired up, and the audience kind of like went, "Hey, yeah, we'll go with it."
Yeah, but that's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing now. You know, you should get riled up. You should get angry. You should be outraged. You know, because Sean Kirkpatrick, you know, is not giving you the truth. He's a fucking liar. He's this. He's that, and he's doing all these tactical things, which is not fucking talent. You shouldn't be riling up people because it's going to end in disaster. It's not going to work well, and it doesn't help the community, Jeremy. Okay, just because things don't go your way, there's no need to get the fucking community riled up because you know you don't want to go with your philosophy with ufology. That's not right. That's not the way forward.
What should he do then?
I
mean,
well, first of all,
tone
down the language
because he no. Well, look at us here. But we're not Jeremy Corbell. You know, but. You know, calling people he's a fucking liar. It's just like, whoa, man, calm down. You know, well, maybe he's got some ammo though. Maybe there is that ammo there that he knows for a fact this is true.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I thought when he said liar. I feel like he was referencing the emails when he said liar,
because
he said
he literally says in that that episode that he's gonna get in so many words get made to look a fool because this information is gonna come out.
Yeah,
we are gonna find out that Grusch and Kirkpatrick did have those back and forth emails.
Okay, then release it then.
I agree with you though, Nick. Yeah. I think, and we've kind of not touched on this until this point, which is maybe it's kind of surprising, I guess, to me. But I agree. Calling them dog shit was probably too much, bro. I mean, we're adults. Come on. I mean, I understand. You know, you don't agree with the guy, and I mean, granted, Jeremy's getting an outrageous amount of heat. Like right now, didn't you notice how he kept saying, "Oh, well, we don't really pay attention to this stuff," but on Twitter, I was like, "Okay, so you are looking at all this stuff." Why do people do that? Why do they say like they don't pay attention to what's being said to them online?
Fucking does.
Yeah, but it's almost
he's
like
watching this show right now.
100%.
Give us a like.
It's almost like the same thing when Grusch was, saying, "Oh, I didn't really look into this topic. I wasn't interested in UFOs. I watched the X-Files and I went to Star Trek conferences, but I didn't." It's like, come on, we know you do. It's a silly lie. It's just a weird lie that I don't know why people do it. It doesn't give any credibility to you, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of the way I looked at it. Is, I mean, I get you're pissed off and you're upset, but just instead of calling him dog shit, drop the emails. You let the proof speak. Why do this? Why get on and throw all these theatrics out there? Why sit there and say, "Well, George, how crazy can I go from 0 to Jeremy?" Why do that? If you got the stuff, put it out. How could
Oh
you?
my
planning.
God.
What hurts Kirkpatrick more, guys? Let me ask you. What hurt? I know I'm ranting, but like, what hurts him more?
No,
the
no, you're
emails,
not. You're
the,
right
the,
on the
e-
money.
the emails, or calling him dog shit? What's gonna hurt Kirkpatrick more? Why are you bringing a knife to a gunfight, Jeremy? Look at what
Yeah.
happened to Indiana Jones to the guy who was swinging the swords. Indiana went, oh yeah, bang. That's it.
Yeah.
Bring the emails. That's
You
it.
should-
If anybody's watching this after and has like that understands the ins and outs of these things, can he release the emails? That's my question. You know, is there something? I'm not up on law and all that jazz, but I can't imagine if he sent the emails. Surely he can show the emails, but then would he have to blank out Kirkpatrick's email? So then we don't even know if he sent it to Kirkpatrick. We can just see the date. But again,
I know, man. I know it's always something, right?
Because Jeremy would have put the emails on that episode to say, look, guys, we've had confirmation that these are the emails. He would have put it on there to stop the malarkey and all the sort of conversation that no, they didn't have received emails at all.
I will, if he does that, I will. You know, I'll make a thumbnail say, I don't know, that fucking disclosure guy or whatever, and it'd be Jeremy Corbell's face. Like he needs to do that. If he can do that, even if he thinks people won't believe it, I think those emails need to be shown.
Yeah, or he doesn't have them. He's just making it up.
Because let's face it, Arrow's not interested.
No,
They're
that's
not
not their
interested
job.
in becoming like
It's
a
Blue
little
Book.
back and forth
Yeah.
with weaponized. You know, they can't be bothered with that.
No,
Yeah, it's Project Blue Book, man. That's all it is. It's just
100%.
that is 2.0. That's what it is.
But the people who are all for Kirkpatrick and think that this guy is, you know, really looking into this stuff. Ask yourself this: how come he was only with Arrow for, was it 1 year?
Barely a year.
I mean, what could he have possibly done in that time? Have you ever started a new job?
I agree. Yeah.
And after like 9 months, you've said to somebody, "I'm still new around here. You know, I'm still learning the ropes." And this guy all of a sudden is leaving. He's done his job.
Some homes don't get built in a year, Ollie. This guy figured out the whole topic in a year. Yeah, I don't know. The government's the slowest moving entity on the planet. How did he get all this cooperation from all of these areas in government inside a year, man? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Good point. You
I'd
bring up a
much
good
rather
point.
him say I would much rather him say I left because you're all crazy motherfuckers. You know?
Well, maybe Rubio made up his mind. He said, you know, either there's a giant conspiracy going on or we have people in high positions that are crazy.
I reckon there was probably more time put into the Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton scandal, more money and more time than it did for Arrow company to do their thing. You know, yeah.
Listen, how long does it take for you to copy homework? You know, probably a lot quicker than it is to do the homework, right? Same thing. They already had all the answers. They already know. The DOD, MIC, they already know. They already have the answers. I agree with Burchett. Just release the stuff. We don't need to go fund. We don't need to fund research and figure out what we have. Go kick Lockheed Martin's door open, man. Go on in there and see what's going on. I bet you'd find yourself knee deep in some very interesting material. It's there, man. It's been too long, guys. I get it, man. I get the last 6 years has been a mess, and we've had trouble with Elizondo, and we've had trouble with Kirkpatrick and the DOD and AARO and stuff like that. But dude, we have to stop this mentality of just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know, explain to me the Pascagoula event. Explain to me how the cops leave the interrogation room and leave the recording on, and Hickson's talking to his buddy there. I'm blanking on his name, and he's saying, you know, I've never seen anything like that before. You're going to tell everybody about this, but they're never going to believe you. How do you explain
this
that,
is what
man?
we was going to talk about.
I know. But I mean,
You
it's a
got
really
excited
good
about
point.
that.
It's such a good point though, Ali, right? Like it's just we're so stuck in TTSA. It's just like
Mm,
there's more, guys. There's more, you
yeah,
know.
definitely.
There's more
It's
to
80
it.
years, 80 years of
Yeah.
unhidden gems to be uncovered. And you're right. Yeah, we haven't even gotten close. I mean, for instance, guys, take everything that's happened in 2023 alone, and everyone kept on banging on about disclosure. How far have we got from the beginning of the year to where we are now? How far have we got to the disclosure? Nowhere. We are back to literally square one.
I think we're going to
Agreed.
be
Even
in this
far
at this
back
exact
now.
same point next year as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
I
this,
think so, yeah, unfortunately.
It's so like I said, it's a cycle now. We're gonna have all these events, the crazy plane lady, the Miami alien that happened this year. We have those events, but those
We'll
are
get
low
loads
level
of them.
distractions.
We'll get
Oh
loads.
yeah,
Of them.
Well,
but it's content, but it's low level distractions. That ain't gonna give us disclosure at all.
no, we're gonna get Grush's op-ed soon. That's the rumor. I mean, that'll be interesting. See what he says. Maybe the
But
emails come with that. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're waiting for. It's possible, I guess. I mean, that would be a pretty interesting double release, right? Like a double album. Emails on one part of the album and the op-ed on the other. Yeah.
I know we've pussyfooted around it, but who do you think's behind? Who do you think the main person is behind Grush's information?
Christopher Mellon,
Do
probably.
you think
Yeah,
it's
I would agree,
somebody?
Mellon.
Do you
Yeah.
think it is Mellon, or do you think it's somebody we haven't seen?
Well, yeah, if you look at like Dark Journalist, his feud with
Yeah.
Christopher Mellon in terms of what Grusch can actually say, because I don't want to, get on Christopher Mellon's bad side. I mean, think, hold on a minute, wait, what's this multi-billionaire doing? Why did you have to have permission from this guy to talk to Dark Journalist? Who was going to ask you, very straightforward questions? He's no bullshit, Dark Journalist. Daniel.
I like that journalist.
Yeah, he's like sound. So that got me a bit. Oh, hold on a minute. What's going on here? What's going on here?
I mean, if there's somebody above Mellon that's pulling the strings, Ali, that's real scary, dude. I don't know. Mellon's very smart, very, very wealthy, high connections. I don't know. I don't know if you need
100%. If he is like one of the people in power, there's somebody behind him pulling the strings. I don't think the puppet master will ever show himself.
I mean, if you want to go into a little bit of a lore, I mean, do you think Majestic 12 is real? You think that's possibly real? Not the document, but do you think that's real? That it all kind of leads up to a few people?
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
but
few people.
Very few.
Yeah, but the thing is, the few people that was on that document, that came from a fake document. So it's hard to tell whether or not those people were actually involved in that said program entirely. So this is what I'm a bit skeptical about the MJ documents, because like you said, that some of the documents may be faked, but there was one document that stated that aliens crashed at Roswell and it recovered alien bodies and stuff like that. But that was proven to be a fake according to the FBI because they have no record of that. But there is another record that states that whatever crashed at Roswell was
That's another
Nazi
company.
related.
That's another three-letter agency that I totally trust. The FBI. There you go, Karen. Nick.
Yeah. So I lost my train of thought then. Sorry, man.
No, you're good. So let me ask you this, Ali.
my bad.
Let's say there is a top group. It doesn't have to be 12 people. It could be 6 people. It could be 20 people. However many you want to put to it. At some point, those people are going to die, right? So how do you recruit for that? Is Chris Mellon in potential running for? Is he running for recruitment? Are they saying, "Hey, can you run this program for us?" Do you have potential to get into this upper circle? You would have to recruit at some point. I'd say if anybody's in the running to join something like that, it's probably Chris Mellon.
This is going to
channel
sound
goes down.
This is going to sound real woo. People.
I mean, I just went woo. Go woo. I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Human beings like to play a short game because we have short lifespans. So you want results within your lifetime. That's what we do. We want it quick. We want to see that result, that goal that we look for, whether it be I don't know. I'm not gonna give examples, but anyway, we look for a short route to everything. So why is the whole UFO thing so why is it so spinned out so long? And I wonder if whatever's I'm going to say whatever's behind it doesn't care about time, because it doesn't need to worry about that. Does it live? Do they live longer? Whoever's behind it, or is it a group of people that are protecting themselves from something, and they're living quite comfortably, just not having this thing out? Whatever it is, I'm not saying nuts and bolts craft, because I don't know what it is, but it does seem like whatever's behind all of this has no interest in a time frame. Doesn't need to have a scale to it. They can keep spinning this thing out for centuries.
Well, it's been 80 years and we're still on the same.
I know.
Has it been
you know,
80? Has it been 80 years, Nick?
well, when it comes to like public
What,
record,
it's been longer than that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been definitely longer than that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but when it comes to like officials like FBI's, and CIA, so you are looking about 1947, World War II sort of time. You are looking at like public records of, yes, unidentified flying objects, UFOs. So it's been an 80-year cover-up, man. I mean, from public record anyway. But yeah, it can go back bloody donkey's years, man. We would have had the truth by now, guys. We would have had at least something, but we are, like I said, back to square one. And I find it ironic that after everything we've been through, and people saying, "Oh, is disclosure coming in 2024?" It's like, no. Did you not learn anything? What's happened? In the past 80 years, we're not going to get disclosure.
Did you,
And there are
get asked, Nick, at the gym or something? Somebody?
Fucking hell, dude! Honestly, this is so. There was another. I don't want to go off one, but there was an old college back in college. There was a guy who was into UFOs. He wasn't talking about Nazi UFOs and stuff like that. This is a different guy, and he contacted me on Facebook saying, "It says, oh, I've seen you on Alien Alerts and all that." I'm like, he goes, "Oh yeah, you need to check out this organization. It's called TTSA." I'm like, "You are kidding me, right? Like seriously, like." It's like he thought it was like a new thing, and he goes, "Yeah, you should check out this guy. What's his name? Lou something." I thought Lou Elizondo, and he's like, "Yeah, that's it. You should check those guys out." I'm like, "Here's some links. Just listen to that, because I'm not going to explain myself."
Well, that's the thing. If anybody's looking at this from an outside, for anybody who's looking at this from outside that's not been into it, that may just pull things from it, they're going to see things like that. They're going to think, "Who's this guy? This is interesting."
But when they talk, going back to
this is like a small little chubby Fox Mulder. This is great.
Who put that there? Who put that there?
It's like Fox Mulder with a cat, and have you seen that meme? And Fox Mulder looks at the cat saying, "Are you a UFO?" I don't know if you've ever seen that meme at all, but people who are new to this community, they think there's a threat going on. Now, I've spoken to a lot of people who don't know about UFOs. They say, "So what's this threat about?" And this is what's been put forward as a threat to national security. Well, yeah, we know that for 80 years worth of it, so at least some sort of investigation should have happened in those 80 years. But people who are new to this community, they're pushed in different directions. And going back to your original question, Ollie, was that, I think possibly the DOD are pushing people like Lou Elizondo out there to push the community in a different direction. And this is where we're at the moment. It's all topsy-turvy, and now we're getting alien spacecrafts, but no, it's actual spiritual dimensional aliens now. And I'm thinking, what's going on here then? We've gone from alien spacecrafts to third dimensional beings, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? So it's like muddling the waters. It's pushing people in different directions, and I think that's done on purpose.
So you think it's like a rebranding, kind of like moving to UAP from UFO?
Yeah, basically.
That's interesting. I never thought about it like that.
That's the way I looked at ufology, and especially Lou Elizondo, especially his background that we know public record of.
Yeah.
He's 2017 when he started coming to that time frame, and listen to what people who had personal connections to Lou Elizondo and what he's been doing and his footnote into the community. And it just seems like people are pushed in different directions now. Like the whole dimensional alien beings, that came from Lou Elizondo. I'm thinking, well, what's going on here? Why are people now trusting this guy all of a sudden? You know, where's these UAPs, alien spacecrafts, but now they're, you know, dimensional beings? What's going on here, guys? You know, do you understand what I'm saying? I know I'm rambling on a little bit.
No, you're right.
But it's like pushing people in different directions, and this is what it's done. Like Lou Elizondo said, so he wants to destroy ufology and rebuild it back up. Whatever means he means by that, by something scientific, I don't know. Well, we're certainly not there yet. If you want to talk about scientific, listen to Jeremy Reed's alien scientist, who's got great research in terms of anti-gravity.
Jeremy's
research.
coming on it, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, sweet.
I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I get the sense out there that they might be rebranding it because more and more people, it feels like, are not thinking that aliens can really get here. Like, I feel like the whole idea of it being aliens has lost a lot of credibility lately. Am I wrong on that? Is anybody else getting that feeling? It really has.
We always used to think it was aliens, though.
Yeah, I'm not sold that it's 100% that. I mean, I think if it is that, it's probably something else as well. But I agree. There's other like theories I think are stronger than that. I don't know.
Like, I would say that there is almost a 50-50, maybe not 50-50, maybe like 70-30. Let's say 70-30 split. That 30% of the community think that this thing, whatever it is an alien. And it goes up like fucking biblical, let's just say. And there's 70% that are like, this nuts and bolts craft. These things have been coming here for years. But I find it fascinating that we've been saying for quite some time on this channel. I know some other channels that have been saying it, that, you know, maybe it's not alien. Maybe everything we've been taught over time is actually true. And then all of a sudden, like in the modern era, we're not supposed to believe in that stuff anymore. Like, even though I'm not a religious person, but it does seem like religion is, they just want to get rid of it. You know, there seems to be this day and age, that thing needs to just go. It's bad for people. You know, people just start fights over it. And again, I am not religious at all. And I don't want to say I'm spiritual either, because you sound like a twat.
But I mean,
I don't. I think I'm in that 30%. I'm in that 30% that thinks that this thing could be something of that kind of caliber.
Spiritual dimensional sort of creatures.
I don't know, Nick. I really don't know.
I don't know. So why do they need a spacecraft? Why is Grusch
maybe they're not spacecraft. I don't know. Maybe we just see, maybe we literally are seeing just lights in the sky.
Well, why do we have a crash retrieval program then?
That's what they tell us.
That's what they tell us, exactly. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. I mean, we have planes that crash that don't originate from outside the galaxy, off our planet. They originate right from the planet. They just go up into the air and they come back down sometimes. I mean, Ali, really, is it really like an erasing of a religion, or is it just kind of the nature of technology and entertainment? And the more that technology that provides our entertainment better and better, a lot of our entertainment is just so, like, if you wanted to say it really in a religious way, sinful, and promotes like these sinful acts, that religion just doesn't have the space for it anymore. Like, people would rather sin, if you want to say that. And those are just more interesting, and they're not willing to give that up for religion anymore. It's like, it's just, our entertainment's too alluring at this point with the technology, right?
I'm going to take it quite literally from like the magical stuff that you used to hear about as a kid that my kids don't hear about really now, as like Star of Bethlehem and all that sort of stuff. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there is some fucking magic. Maybe there's something that we've slowly started to forget about. I'm not willing to take that off the table. Like I said, I've said this on a few times on the channel. I used to be a complete atheist, but the more I look into this subject and the more I don't see results, but I've seen the lights in the sky. I've spoke to people that have had experiences that sound like abduction. I've spoke to some that I think are absolutely fucking bonkers, but I've spoke to people I actually think have had something gone on in their lives that I can't explain. I don't think they can explain it. I can't imagine it being another species from a different. I'm looking at it as if we go out there, which is a very human thing. I'm
Right.
looking at it as if say we get out, let's just say Avatar, yeah. Let's just say
Oh, you can't think like a reptilian? I'm surprised.
we go to a planet. What do? Do we use the Prime Directive and not go down there, show ourselves? Maybe that would probably be the right thing to do. Or do we just go to that planet, take what we need, and fuck off? Maybe take a few with us as well, just to experiment on, see what makes them tick. I don't. This all the stories that we hear about abductions, we've actually got onto the abduction story now, right? But all the things that we hear about that, it doesn't sound like what humans would do. and I can't put myself into how another species, unless that it sounds like a species with no empathy whatsoever when you hear the stories about these things. Other than them shutting nukes down, I like that bit.
There's some good out of it, but being probed in the ass is one other thing, isn't it? Is that
Yeah,
what we're talking about?
I don't get it. I don't. As much as it's funny, I don't. I think that was just put in there just to fuck with us. The whole probing thing, to put stigma on it. Yeah, I think it was.
Do you think South Park, the first episode, Cartman gets an anal probe? Do you think that really started it? Because that came out in 1997. That's like the height of like X-Files.
I don't think that started it. No, I think it was out there before that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's out before? Do you reckon?
I can't think off the top of my head.
No, it was out there before. It was out there before.
Yeah, South Park didn't come up with the anal probe thing. That definitely
Communion.
That's right. Okay, no, just to answer that.
If you watch the actual, and I think it's in the book Communion as well. I've not read the book, but I've watched the movie.
There've been communion, definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Strieber gets like some sort of vacuum cleaner up his bum, you know.
Science. Yeah. Yeah, poor guy.
Love to interview him.
I feel like they just I feel like there's not really like I don't think there is really abductions that much anymore, if there ever are. I mean, if anything, it would probably just be for maintenance. Maybe they're checking up on us, but at the start, long ago, there could have been a lot of them, you know?
Did you hear the guys hear the story of what's the president who had a treaty that was signed for the aliens so they can abduct a certain amount of people? Was it Eisenhower?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it was Eisenhower. Yeah. Why the bloody hell would aliens want to sign a contract? How the alien was going to sign a contract to say, yeah, they're so an advanced civilization, they can take anybody like that.
I mean, what are you do? Take them to court?
I mean,
I'm sorry, guys.
You know what I mean?
Here.
Well, I guess to answer your question, both of your guys' questions, I mean, when you were saying, what would we do as humans going to get into another planet? Same thing there, Nick. When they came here, I mean, you would probably try to be peaceful at first. Like, why would you try to fight right away? I mean, if they had something that you wanted, you probably still would try to work with them first, right?
But we've
Which
got
one-
enough trouble. We've got enough trouble shooting them out of the sky, though, isn't it? Every time there's something in the sky that we can't explain, we try to bloody shoot it down. So we're the
Yeah.
threat, you know. We're the enemy when you look at it.
Which one of you guys just said then that we don't hear about much abductions now?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find that weird?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Sort of weird.
Because if
sort of.
humans, because if it was all bullshit, the humans would carry on with the bullshit. If most of the abductions stories were all bullshit, we'd have carried on. We like trends, you know, and if it works, we stay on it. But the abduction stories have stopped. You get the odd one that you know, that you can really tell you're just making shit up.
Yeah.
But the abduction stories have stopped. Now it's either two things. They got what they needed. They've done that bit. They don't need to look anymore. They've cloned enough. Three things. They've cloned enough of us, so they've got us now. They don't need to do that, or they've found a better way to do it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
If that's a true thing, if that is what they are, if abduction is a thing, but I mean, who?
So they don't plug into us with an Ethernet cord anymore. They abduct us Wi-Fi.
At the beginning of the week, when I started watching some abductions thing, I got a thinking. I was thinking, like, who came up with that in the first place? Like, and I know you've got a few of the great cases, and you've got a few of them that just don't get a mention.
Yeah.
But you know who all of a sudden said flying saucers, and then came up with flying saucers. If you want to make up stuff and make these stories sound a bit more interesting, there's flying saucers. There is what they do is they come down, they take you on the ship, and there's a creature on that ship with no features whatsoever. It just has big black eyes. That's some fucking wild imagination.
Can I just put my hand up and just say something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I keep on hearing about abductions, about people being milked.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay. Okay, first of all, like
I would
can't
love
remember-
to be milked.
Yeah, but Ollie, so would I. But hold on a minute. If you're under that much pressure, you've just been abducted. You got these alien creatures. How
No, I wouldn't actually.
How are you supposed to gain an erection when you're in a state of fear? I just, it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. I mean,
This is going to sound so racist, but
I mean, it's alien Viagra, right?
I'm not attracted to greys in the slightest. I mean, they've got nothing going for them.
Do they have a special machine they use to stick over your dick, and it's like a vacuum? I don't know.
I don't know. I never thought about it, to be honest with you, Nick.
I'm thinking about it now. Does Klaxar come along and stroke you? Who knows, man? I just don't get it.
Could be.
I don't know. Abductions, man, that is the territory. I mean, yeah, I deal with Nazi flying saucers, for Christ's sake, but abductions is such a touchy subject because I hadn't been abducted. I don't know. It's hard to believe anyone's stories these days because it's so outlandish. It is. Sure, getting abducted by aliens and getting implants, but I have to admit, who's the famous nuclear physicist? I'm talking about Stanton Friedman here. Who not Stanton Friedman. He used to do operations. Used to take out people that's been abducted.
God,
I can't remember his bloody name.
Are you talking about the guy from one of Corbell's first documentaries?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He's got a ton of them collected. A ton of the pieces. Oh God,
little tiny things.
Yeah.
He's the guy who portrayed the Turkish UFO with the aliens inside, isn't it?
Might have been, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember he used to take out, these tiny little implants that they found in people's
They
bodies.
look like organic.
Somebody in
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
knows for sure. Somebody in chat
yeah.
definitely knows.
So there's some sort of
Right.
credibility behind that.
Alan Fluffer. Oh, so
Alien
no.
Fluffer.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm sure they've got those. It's a long trip. It's a long trip, buddy. But
about the traveler ice cream,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
go
say,
ahead.
that's what I can't get my head around.
Getting here.
Getting here
Yeah.
and stuff getting in the way on if you come in at high speed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably butcher this, dude, because I'm just not like physics smart at all. But I remember that one NASA scientist was talking, I think it was to Kurt, Theories Everything, and he was talking about how just the time difference, like even if you could travel at the speed you needed to go, by the time you got home, that time difference, it would have been like civilizations would have passed. You couldn't just go to Earth and then come back because of the time. Your family, everyone would be dead. Like that whole civilization would be gone.
So that's when you look at a star in the sky, you are probably looking at like 70 years ago,
right?
700 years ago. Some of them a million years ago, like millions and millions, because of the speed of light, because of the time that piece of light.
Right.
You're seeing light that's old, basically.
Yeah, Interstellar kind of touched on it too, with the time difference over the years that he was gone. And so
one of my favorite films.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I thought about that and I was like, God, that is true. Like, how do you deal with that time difference? How would you set up a project that once it was successful and came back, there was nobody around, even in anywhere close of a generation that even started the project? How do you deal with that? How do you set up I don't know. It kind of blew my mind for a second. I was like, oh God, now I get the whole it's not extraterrestrial thing more now. It definitely takes some of the credibility for that away. But that doesn't mean there's not a phenomenon. I mean, just means it might not be ET. They could already been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just yeah, they're probably already here. Yeah.
They probably are. Yeah, for sure.
Under the ice.
Antarctica, the thing, is it going to kill us and then it's going to take the shape of Nick?
Great film. I really hope it's nothing like the thing.
I hope so as well. Yeah.
Or the xenomorph for that. I mean, that's worst case scenario. It is just like the xenomorph.
Or at least I hope we have a Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
That'd be great too.
We've got Dave.
That's true. We do have Dave. Dave just steps out with the shotgun like an iRobot. He just goes.
I think David, like, knowing Dave and meeting him, I think Dave would embrace an alien invasion and enjoy it.
He's like, what did I spend all the money on this guns and ammo for? I want to be able to use it. Finally, the time has come. I believe that.
Oh, was the guy named Roger Lear? Does that ring a bell?
Roger Lear, yeah.
The implant guy.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
Could be, yeah. Not John Lear, but Roger Lear.
No, Roger. Yeah, I get it mixed up sometimes too. Bill Lear.
Roger Lear. Roger Lear rings a bell, but maybe it's just the name Lear that's ringing that bell. Yeah, I mean, Abduction. We should do a show on that. We should do a show on that.
Can.
Yeah, definitely.
Why not?
I would we'd probably have a build up towards that because I want to really look into that thing and see how far it actually truly goes back. I want to go way back.
Written on the cave walls, a beam.
Yeah. I want to go.
I don't think I've ever heard anything like that, Ali. Have you heard of it? Like cave wall descriptions and stuff? I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, you see pictures on walls of like things in the sky.
Yeah, but not like abductions, those
motherfuckers couldn't draw for shit. Like they couldn't, could they?
I mean, they didn't have crayons. Give them a break, all right? They didn't
A for effort.
They had trouble staying in the
It
line.
always makes me laugh when you see this cave painting going, oh yeah, you see that this was a giant mothership alien, and this here is just like, I don't see it, mate. I think, is that a tree? The dinosaur gazelle?
It's the same thing with like EVPs. It's like, oh, you can hear him say like, please stop. And it's like, no, I can't. It doesn't sound like anything. It's just static. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's people's just imaginations trying to work out things that are not there really.
I love
But
EVPs though, man. That was the
Mate.
scariest stuff to me when I watched all the ghost stuff in like the mid 2000s. Like you could show me the chairs moving and stuff like that. That was fine. Apparitions on thermal, that was okay. But those EVPs that would say like, they don't want us. Dude, that was scary shit to me.
Well,
Always
hold
got
on
me.
hold on after the show, because I've got some EVPs that are fucking just out of this world, honestly. Like,
Well, mate, I didn't believe in all that stuff until I went to that prison.
oh, it's
Yeah.
real. It's
yeah. Like, I think whatever it is manages to get through somehow.
White Noise is a good movie. That's Michael Keaton. That's if you haven't seen White Noise.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, man. Check it out. It's the weekend too, Ali, that everybody can watch it.
Yeah,
you know?
man. I'll put it this way. I used to work in my old music college. I used to work there, and that place was so haunted. And I ended up doing like a load of EVPs, and I brought my mum down one day. I was like, come on, let's do some ghost hunting. And it was the whole place, college to ourselves. And my mum caught an EVP. She knows what it's talking about. She's watching live, but it is so fucking crystal clear.
Wow.
She spoke, and you can hear it saying, get out of this room. And it is like bang on clear. I'll try and grab it out and probably play it on the show at some point. But
oh yes, we would love to have that, mate.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them, mate. Oh yeah, VVPs are just so weird. But that place was haunted as fuck. There'd be one section of the building I would not go down. It just felt like there was something like watching you. You know, it's ghosts are real, guys. EVPs are real. Aliens, not so much, probably.
So to take us out,
put a bow on it.
Yeah.
Would you say
put a bow over it?
The final message, Corbell needs to get David Grusch to let Corbell on Weaponized or whatever put those emails out? People will probably call them fake.
Sure.
They will, but so how many people will call them fake emails? So I think he's probably gonna have to put out a video. Can't just be a screenshot.
They're gonna have to look really sketch for me to throw them out, though, because I don't see a point. I think that we might actually be really on the moment where we could get a real fact out of this, left or right. And I think these emails really could do that, man. We'll see. They hold a lot of power in that situation.
So I'll go to you first, Nick, for this. What does your gut tell you with this? Who's telling the truth? Forget not trusting some of the stuff that Corbell might have done in the past or whatever. Forget that Kirkpatrick, where he works. Well, actually, you might want to remember that.
Yeah.
Who in your gut feeling? Who do you think's telling porkies?
Oh, both sides. I have to admit, I'm leaning towards.
You can't. You can't say both for this.
I know, Ollie.
Somebody said it, unless they're in it together. Unless Kirkpatrick right now is sat on Jeremy Corbell's nap.
On Corbell's nap.
Jeremy Corbell's nap. That's my nap. That's my nap over there. He's having a nap right now.
I would say I'm leaning towards Grusch. I believe more in Grusch and what he's saying because okay, he sounds more honest, but in my personal opinion, when it comes to Kirkpatrick, he has not seen all the evidence. It's a bit like the JFK thing. You know, the government kept on saying, "Oh no, you got all the information." It's like, no, there are plenty more information out there. You're not showing us. So it's that sort of scheme. Sean Kirkpatrick has not seen all the evidence, and you will never be to see all the evidence, especially when we talk about AARO. So going back to your original question, Ollie, I think I'm leaning towards Grusch, but I don't believe in any of them.
So you think Jeremy and Grusch are telling the truth?
No, just Grusch. I wouldn't believe anything Jeremy says.
No. If
He's cheating, Ali. He's cheating. I know. I like your answer, even though you're cheating. I like what you're doing. You're a good politician. You don't even know it yet.
I should work for the Labour Party.
But if Grusch sent them emails, Jeremy's telling the truth.
If Grusch sent the emails, then, but yeah, of course, yeah. To a certain
that's
degree.
a good way to put it.
I'm not saying what Jeremy is saying is not all lies. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I just don't trust anybody. In this. But
rightly so.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's like a relationship.
I think you should change that poster behind you. I want to trust.
I want to trust. Yeah, for instance, I look at ufology. It's like, I try to put this analogy. It's like a trifle. Look at ufology like a trifle. You got you know what a trifle is in America. You got the cream on top. You got the jelly filling at the bottom with the custard with the middle base. I should know that.
Sure.
But what ufology is, as described as a trifle, is presenting the public with an empty bowl with no ingredients and saying, trust me, the information's coming. But the trifle was so big, that's put a building over it. And, buckle the fuck up. The trifle is coming. It's coming, guys. It's just an empty bowl. What am I supposed to get excited about?
What's happened to Ross Coulthard? Where's he gone?
Oh, he can fuck off. Sorry.
He's gone quiet.
He's hanging out with bird shit.
Do you know what he said?
I like bird shit, man. It's so funny when we call him bird shit. It's very funny.
I thought that's how you pronounce his name. I like him too.
Bird shit.
I mean,
bird shit. What else? What were we saying before? What were we saying before?
Well, you said bird shit, and I said bird shit. So I mean, which one is it? Bird shit or bird shit?
Bird shit.
Bird shit.
Look, I don't trust either one of them. But if you're going to make me lean, I would lean that. I would lean towards that. Grusch tried to email him and Kirkpatrick ignored it. I cannot give the default belief to the DoD. There's just no way. Come on.
No. Yeah.
Even I mentioned earlier, the Manhattan Project example. Even if he wanted to, he might not be able to tell you. How do you deal with that? So you have to lean towards the person who at least maybe has kind of a chance to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? That's the way I view it. And I hate saying it because I don't like Corbell. I don't. So you're making me say something I don't want to say. You're making me give him credit, and I don't want to do that, but I have to for the game.
Cold fart. That's a nice one, Moody.
Who knows where Coulthard is? Well, Coulthard's waiting for his story. I mean, he's a journalist, right? There's nothing going on. He's going to hang out.
He's a failed journalist with a
you know what I
mean.
Award. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I just mean that's the gig with him, right? He's going to sit around, wait for something to report on, and he's bored. I'm sure he's very. But you can imagine being him right now, Ali. He's bored out of his mind. What's he doing?
He's probably playing on Games Pass or something.
I'm gonna fight him in Call of Duty tonight.
Yeah.
I bet you he's terrible at first person shooters.
He's absolutely terrible.
He's getting ripped to shreds.
Well, people,
buy a t-shirt.
Buy yourself a t-shirt. Yeah, because it helps pay for the software. Helps fund the channel. And
that's
knows?
What Griffin was saying.
Who knows? That was one of my arguments earlier on about all this. Nick, we sell stuff on this channel. So if you're gonna call everybody else a grifter, you may as well call us a grifter.
Yeah, you're definitely a grifter.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom, boom, boom. That's definitely a grift.
Look at all that grift material.
Wow.
Boom. Right in your face. Jeremy Corbell style. He just don't even hide it. Just put it right out there.
So tomorrow we've got the let me get rid of the alien on it logo. It interferes. I wish StreamYard would just get rid of it when I hit the other stuff, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
There you go. Tomorrow's show, episode 4 of the Conspiracy Mothership. I think I might be able to make that one as well. tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be on that one. Where you ask the questions, where you control the show, you the audience. And on Sunday, it's going to be, we talk about this guy that's had a stroke. So yeah, that's going to be good. Good night, God bless, people. Mind the bugs don't bite. Make sure you check us out on everywhere, all the platforms that we are on, which is we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on X, we're actually live on X right now.
Oh yeah, let me make that delineation before you go, because I had someone on our channel, Tim G Star, was saying, hey, I wanted to find your channel for a long time, I couldn't find it. Maybe that's my fault. The @Terrestrial Material is YouTube, guys, and the @Ice Cream Shots is X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the links for both these absolute legends is in the description below. Actually, just before we do go, we'll start with you, Terrestrial. What are you doing next?
Sunday, we've got the celebrity UFO experiences episode 23 that's coming out. It's pre-recorded, got some clips in there. Should be a lot of fun. There's a trailer, a little teaser, I guess, that's on our channel right now. You can go check it out. It's on Terrestrial Material right here on YouTube and wherever
that is linked, people. Right underneath in that description.
Yep.
If you need me to guide you there, God help you.
I'm trying. I don't, hey, that's why I put the @ in there, man. I'm doing whatever I can.
Nick, you've
been
I got stuff out. Finally, you started putting content out.
I did one on global warming. I did a short on global warming, and I got so much shit for it. I ended up deleting it, so that's nice. Wow, I was like, wow.
Don't delete it. Keep that shit up.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking I was having a bad day. I was like, I can't be bothered with this shit. But more Nancy flying saucers to come. I think we're working on something tomorrow over the weekend. So yeah, some more stuff to be thrown in your face.
Awesome.
In a nice way.
Yeah, I like stuff thrown in my face. Not a nice way. It's good. Yeah. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out these guys that hold the show up in the description. Because I couldn't do this on a Friday without them. Bloody awesome. I love you guys. Good night, God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. Make sure you subscribe to Alien Addict and all that jazz. And we'll see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. GMT time, at 5 p.m. Eastern. Sunday is 9 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. Eastern. There you go. Good night. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Yeah.
How many of these articles, based on what Kirkpatrick said, have you read, and what's your take on it?
There's an information war. This is disinformation. This is a disinformation tour, and the public should know, and we're going to highlight it. He wrote an article in Scientific American. It was an opinion piece, right? There was literally nothing scientific about it, nor was it American. Because to be an American, you represent the people you're supposed to represent. Additionally, to go after David Grusch, and let me just read you what he wrote so I can really nail this home, that he's a liar. This is not just a disinformation war. He's a liar. So in his article, where Kirkpatrick said in the Scientific American, which was neither scientific nor American, here's a quote. And I'm gonna tell you where he puts quotes. As of the time of my departure, none, let me repeat, none of the conspiracy-minded, in quote, whistleblowers in the public eye had elected to come to AARO to provide their, quote, evidence and statement for the record, despite numerous invitations. So let's just take David Grusch. Is that true? It's not true. That's a lie. So there are FOIA-able back and forths between Kirkpatrick and David Grusch that will become public. I have seen them. Total horse shit. And Kirkpatrick is a piece of dog shit.
really don't know if I thought this thumbnail through. It's done now. Sunday.